What is up, everybody? Today we are going to talk about King of the Court. I'm sure, as most of you have probably figured out, after the update, the uncommon deck does not work anymore. If you use that uncommon deck, I'm sure you have figured out, like I said, it just doesn't work. You know, you put in commons and uncommons at the very end of the tower or the pyramid. All you get is rares, and it is virtually impossible to do those decks. So we had to switch it up a little bit, try a whole bunch of different decks, and today we are going to go over, I guess, what I found works best. Of course, it's going to depend a little bit on the cards that you have, depending on maybe if you have event cards, maybe if you have foils, or summer cards, or what is it, autumn cards. I mean, if you have some of those cards, obviously in that tier, that's going to make it a lot easier. But if you do enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. If you use a different strat than the one that is mentioned in this video, then please, below in the comments, just post whatever you use or whatever deck you use, and so everybody else can find out, you know, and hopefully this helps everybody going forward. Alright, so let's talk about the deck itself. As you see, I do have 12 Epic Primes. They are just regular Epic Primes. I do have 2 of them that are Epic Prime Pros, but they are untrained, like level 0 pros. So they're almost the same level as the regular Epic Primes, and I found it really didn't increase the AI deck that much, or if at all. And since they are better than regular Epic Primes, I just went with this. And then to the right, you see I have 3 Epics. So the whole idea with the strat that I found works the best is that you take 12 cards all in the same exact tier, and then 3 cards 1 tier below it. So let's say if you wanted to use all Elite Pros, you're more than welcome to use, because I tried this as well, use 12 Elite Pros. Most of mine are event cards, so I use those as well. And then to the right, I used either regular Elites or Epic Prime Pros for the 3 of them, and it worked pretty much the same. I found whatever tier I used, it was pretty much the same, except when you drop down to Uncommon. When you drop down to Uncommon, it just doesn't work at all. So unless, of course, I'm doing something wrong, who knows. But like I said, all of these are Epic Primes, just regular ones, and then regular Epics. And the reason I chose Epic Prime as far as my deck goes, and yeah, I do have event cards, but I found that sometimes they use event cards as well. But I used Epic Prime just for the simple fact that this is the deck that I have most of my foils in, most of my autumn cards. So you see I have a foil there, I have another foil, Eric Bledsoe, I got an autumn card, I got this Jaylen Brown, non-leveled up, level 0, so it's pretty much the same as a regular Epic Prime. It's just that it's better, so it really helps. And then who else we got? There's another one, yep, Mike Conley, autumn card, and Sean Marion, autumn card. So, and then of course the Epics, we have those 2 autumn cards that we got in that Flash Gauntlet for whatever it was. I don't remember what it was, but Halloween. So yeah, that is why I picked this. Like I said, I have tried with Elites and Epic Primes. I've tried with Elite Pros and Epic Prime Pros. I found that all of them typically worked about the same. And so depending on what deck tier that you're best at, or that you have the best foils in, most foils, etc., I would use that. Or maybe even if you maybe find some ultra rares and then use ultra rare pros and then regular rares, that would work good. I just don't have any ultra rares or rares, so I couldn't test that strategy. Alright, so let's jump into an actual match, kind of let you see what it looks like. And I've noticed pretty much the exact same thing no matter what tier I used. I found that the reason why I did 4 columns of Epic Primes and then 1 column of Epic is that I found that so far, I've probably tested this 25 or 30 games. I'm not saying that it's not possible, but so far out of the 25 or 30 games that I've tested this in, the very right column that is full of only the Epics, or your lowest tier, they only get picked 1 time. And it seems like they take 1 card out of each column, and then the very last card, which seems like it might be random, but it never picks from the lowest tier. I don't know if that's just coincidence or that they have it set up like that, but either way, my epic card is always in the 5th slot, and they take 1 card from every single column. So when you organize your deck, make sure you think about that as far as what cards you put in which ones. If you want to put in all foils in 1 column so you're guaranteed 1 foil, or whatever it is you want to do. I mean, that any of it works, but they do take, seems like they take 1 card from every one. And no matter what tier I actually did, it seemed like it picked cards 2 tiers below or 1 tier below. That's quite a few points below for the bottom 2 rows. So as we only got 1 epic prime, which of course is the ×2 multiplier. If we have enough cards, you know, I just say go for it, let's beat it, and I might as well do it just so you can see. We'll just take the Mike Conley, which is the autumn card. But the bottom 2 rows seems like always going to be the lower tier cards. Every once in a while you have some that are about the same level, but most of the time they are the lower tiers. It's no longer like when you use the uncommon deck, how you pick just 1 card and or that 1 rare pro or whatever could have been on the bottom row, the 2nd row. It could have been absolutely anywhere. You really couldn't tell where it was. Sometimes it's at the very top, sometimes it's at the very bottom. This seems to be a lot more structured as far as the opponents you actually face. So that's why I suggest making everything the same. As far as the tiers above me go, most of the time, almost every single time, you're either going to have an Epic Prime Pro like we have right there with the Jeremy Lamb, or it's going to be an Elite card. Every once in a while, there's gonna be 2 of them, and so sometimes you got to keep in mind that the very last card could be a card that is 2 tiers above you, so you'll need 2 cards in order to beat it. So we have the Carmelo Anthony this time. What should we do? We got offense, defense, playmaking. Let's go. I guess we're gonna, can we beat it with this one, with the Richardson? Yeah, we're gonna take the Richardson. Both of those are pros, so that's fine. Take out that Carmelo Anthony. So already we've had 1 card that was the Epic Prime Pro, and there is another Elite. So every once in a while they'll have 2 cards that are 2 tiers above you, and once you get 2 of them, there's not going to be any more. So 2 is the max out of all of the games I've played. And we'll take this Bobby Portis, take him out real quick, and then the very last card is just going to be a regular Epic Prime. And so we have 2 cards left, which makes it pretty simple to beat. We got Lonzo Ball there. The only thing that is a little bit different about using this strat, I mean, I still win 85–90% of the time when I do this. The only difference is that when I use the uncommon deck, I got the ×2 multipliers literally every single time, unless of course it was on a rare card. Okay, now just to show you something just a little bit different, we're just going to take a look at what it's like when you use all Elite Pros. So I have all of the event Elites in there except for the Carmelo Anthony and regular Elite Pros, at least the best Elite Pros that I have, and then Epic Prime Pros. So again, it's going to take 1 single card from every single column. You see I got the first 3 columns filled with mostly event cards. We have the Dennis Rodman Autumn card and then a Giannis in there as well. And then the very last one is going to be Epic Prime Pros. So pretty much the same thing. I mean, you look at what the cards we got. We get 1 card from the first column, the second column, the third column, which means event, and we got the Dennis Rodman. And then we got 1 single Epic Prime Pro, and then I don't know how they come up with the very last card. I haven't quite figured it out, but I just know that it's never been 2 of the lowest cards that I had. So looking at our opponents, you've got some cards, at least in the bottom 2 tiers, they're going to be close to the same. There's no, there's nothing in there right now that is lower than my lowest card, so I'm not too worried about it. We just take away the Epic Prime. I might have been able to use my Epic Prime, but since it's the very last tier with Elite, I don't have to worry about not being able to beat the last card if I have 2 cards. And then we got marking in for this one. We'll use the Dennis Rodman. And most of the time, like I said, it's just all going to be preference. You know, what deck tier do you have the best cards in? That should be the one that you use, and then take 3 of them of a tier right below it. Damian Lillard, it still doesn't appear like those are either foil or level 26, because those levels are still pretty darn low. So I'm okay with that. Most of the time, like I said, when you take cards away from the, if you would have used all Elite Pros, then the AI that you face, you're going to have a lot of event cards, and you're going to have a lot of foils, etc. Using those 3 lower tier cards on the very right, it's going to drop down the deck a little bit. Even though it shows still Elite Plus Plus, it's still going to drop down the deck, and you're not going to get as many foils and things like that. So that Klay Thompson looks like that is the foil version of Klay. So definitely have to be sure that you pay attention to the stats when you get to the very top to make sure that you're going to get the right, you know, be sure that you're going to have a card that is good enough. Don't just automatically assume. And it is the foil version. So that's okay. But like I said, we got so many event cards. This deck tier works just fine. And then the last one's going to be a Elite Pro, probably a foil. And it is just, it looks like just a regular Ginobili. So that's fine. So again, you know, same exact idea. It's just going to depend on what cards that you have that are better for your deck. And that's pretty much it. For that one, we got all ×2, except for only one, which was the very first one that didn't offer ×2. Alright, so that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully this helped you. Like I said, I tried this in pretty much every single tier except for down in Ultra Rare and Rare, because I do not have any of those cards. I tried it with Epic Prime and Epic Pros and Epic. I tried it with Elite Pros and Epic Primes. I tried it with just about everything and noticed that it's pretty much the same across the board. It just depends on what your best cards are. So that's going to do it. Hopefully you did enjoy. Hopefully it did help you. If it did, hit that thumbs up. Thank you everybody in the Discord. A lot of these, some of these strategies, a lot of guys use in the Discord. Some of them, there were a couple that are very similar to this. So if you have something different, go into the Discord, which is in the description. Post in there, help everybody out. Maybe this strat might not necessarily be the best for you if you don't have the cards for it. But yeah, thanks everybody for putting in their input. I took everybody's stuff, mixed it all together, tried a bunch of different stuff, and this is what I found works best. So hopefully it helped you. Hopefully you get through King of the Court just fine, and the new update and all the things that they ruined our strats from. Hopefully we won't get any more of that. Hopefully we get Star Tier very soon. If you have not subbed yet, please hit that sub button. Check the description for the Discord. I will see y'all very soon. I am out. Peace.